about the idea of a flat Earth. What would living on a flat Earth be like as opposed to the spherical one that we're all used to now?
Well, a flat Earth, probably the most interesting thing to me about a flat Earth is that we normally think a flat Earth means that you can walk to an edge and fall off. As if the Earth was a dinner plate here on our Earth and things can fall off of it. But because the Earth is so large, it has a very significant gravitational pull on things. It has a very significant gravitational pull on things. It has a very significant gravitational pull on things. It has a very significant gravitational pull on things. And if you actually do the math and figure out which direction gravity would point, in the middle of a flat Earth, gravity would point straight down. I'm imagining that a flat Earth is a disk of some thickness.
See, that's our problem. They constantly refer to gravity. Gravity is their God, in a sense. They need it to explain everything. But if you've done any research on what true gravity is, then you know their gravity is super selective. It can hold trillions of gallons of water, ocean water, but it can't stop a bird or fly from flying around. Think about that. They try to use this to explain so many things. This is a problem with what I have come to realize with the flat Earth. People have no clue on what the true model is. They come up with these weird theories. Now, Josh Peck, God bless him. I think he's a great brother in the Lord. But in this case, he's just flat out wrong. Pun intended. Now you have this guy, Vsauce, with over 10 million subscribers, who has plenty of influence, coming up with these weird. They give you a model that has nothing to do with what the true flat Earth is. They give you something to confuse you. And that is the issue with what I'm coming to find out. I've seen this happen several times just in this last month. I'm going to give you guys some examples, like this video that Jeranism did. He released his first debate, I believe it was. I think he did fairly well. The problem with what happened on that debate was he had to try to explain their model at the same time as trying to explain to them as well our model. And the issue with that is they have no clue what they actually believe. As flat earthers, you know that it takes a lot for us to be open about this. You really do a lot of research and you really find out what science or scientism has been teaching us, and you realize how much of it is completely a lie. In fact, all of it is a lie. That's why they need gravity to explain everything, because that is their super weapon. They grab it out of their back pocket and they say, well, gravity explains that. Oh, this is just ridiculous. Now, in the video with Jeranism, you could hear his frustration. He really was trying to get them to see how wrong they were with certain things. They were applying the ball earth belief with what the flat earth belief. So they were thinking that the sun is 93 million miles away, the same size as a 93 million mile away sun. When we tell them it's much closer, it's smaller, they don't hear that, and they just think that well, if the sun was that close, it would burn everything up. And that's the issue. They have no clue on what flat earth means, like this guy Vsauce. To me, this guy is a paid shill in a sense. I don't even like to use that word because it's just annoying in a sense, but they really have people out here spreading this false information to confuse so many people. I don't know. It's just ridiculous at this point.
What have you done to verify this is some sort of a truth to you?
You can go out and fast Larry.
George, let Jaron talk, buddy.
I would bet anybody anything that boats do not ever go over any curvature. Now, if you take any video, go to YouTube and look at any single video of a boat going over the so-called edge. Watch it very carefully with your eyes open, with actually putting your bias aside, and watch the boat do what you think it does and realize that the boat just continues off and gets smaller and smaller and smaller. You think it's going over the edge because we were all taught that. We were all taught that boats would fall off the edge of a flat earth. We were all taught, how could you fly around a flat earth? It's impossible. If it was in school that they took us aside and said, well, you know, there could be this ice wall here at the edge and we actually can fly east or west and go around the earth. So for instance, if it is a globe, if it is a globe, there would be all kinds of accounts of north-south navigation. There's not.
I know a girl who has circumnavigated the earth in a sailboat.
Yeah, I just said that. Did she go north-south? Did she cross the North Pole and the South Pole?
Nope.
No. You can go around the earth, Amy, in a picture a clock.
Wait, if you could
So
go
you
around
think
the
that
Earth,
all
doesn't
the
that make the
continents
Earth
are like
round?
Pangea?
No, it's like a clock. Imagine a clock. And
Okay, where is Antarctica in
it's
this?
the edge. It's the outer wall. But we don't know if that's all the way around, if there's certain sections of it that are possibly open. No, we wouldn't know that.
Actually, we do. We have people that live and work in Antarctica all the time, and I have friends that have.
Okay, and that doesn't mean
No one's even claimed to fly under Antarctica. You know that? No one's even claimed to fly under Antarctica. We fly over the North Pole all the time, but no one's ever claimed to fly under the bottom of the Earth. No one's even ever
Yes, they have. They do it all of the time.
They do it all the time. The
They
world
do. McMurdo.
Amy.
Hold on. The world record for north-south navigation, the person left North Carolina, went down to Brazil, went from Brazil to the 90-degree marker, then went back to Brazil, Brazil to New Zealand to Hawaii, Hawaii to Alaska, to the North Pole, and back to North Carolina. That's what they call circumnavigation.
So what do you think is on the back of this flat Earth?
What do you mean the back?
Well, I mean, if it's a flat Earth, it's going to have a backside, right? What is on Earth's
No,
ass?
That's what you've been told. This is what I'm trying to say.
No, I want to know what is on Earth's ass.
Well, what I'm trying to explain to you is that's the way you were taught flat Earth. So you're acting very proud of yourself, like you know it all.
I'm
That's
not.
great.
I'm very curious.
Okay, and I'm trying to tell you that just because somebody taught you a certain method of flat Earth or a picture of it in your mind, that's not the way it would naturally work. The Earth is all what there is. So if you're saying what's on the underside of the Earth, the Earth is all there is. So there is no underside. You've been taught space, so you think something's on top and on bottom and on the left and right. If the Earth is where we are, and you have to realize this, you guys are into paranormal things, that the Earth, you've heard it talked about as a matrix before. Sorry, what's his name?
Keanu Reeves?
No, Tesla. Sorry, I was losing my mind. Tesla even said the Earth is not a planet, it's a realm. And he absolutely is right. The Earth is not a planet. It's not a place in space. It's a realm. We are here as spiritual entities acting out a physical existence. And we have people who are in charge of us, our governments, who have figured out a way to lie to you on the most massive scale possible.
For what
And if you
reason?
don't-
For what reason?
What gain, though?
But you think about it, what lie has turned more people away from the Bible and made them believe that it's a fairy tale, that God doesn't exist, that Jesus, it's just all made up? It's science.
Yeah.
And it's this pseudoscience. Now, I know there's true science, but this pseudoscience of theories and ideas that, again, if they could prove them to us, it's one thing. But when we start finding out that the shadows go the wrong way on the moon missions and the Earth's not in the right place, and there's photoshopped Earth boxes around from NASA photos, and you start finding out that not one picture that we have of, alleged picture of the Earth is truly a picture. Yeah. They tell us the Earth is an oblate spheroid, and then they give us a perfect sphere picture.
Absolutely.
Well, which is it?
It's perfect to the pixel. I mean, and none of these pictures are real. And I'm going to play a clip here real quick. In fact, I had some problems playing clips. So everybody in the chat room, please give me a heads up if you could hear this, because I want everybody to hear this. So just please give me a heads up. This is Neil deGrasse Tyson, who I believe is kind of he's definitely working for the powers that shouldn't be. This is Neil deGrasse Tyson on the oblate spheroid.
So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
Yeah. Chubby is a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
Yeah.
So it turns out the pear-shapedness is bigger than the height of Mount Everest above sea level.
I'm sorry. Now they're going to tell us it's an oblate spheroid. It's the pear-shapedness. I mean, give me a break. Turn the cameras around. Show us a real picture.
To what
because
end?
They're in power. That's anytime somebody has any kind of a hold over you. If they know something you don't know, they are in power.
So you're saying that they're not letting us know the Earth is flat because they're dicks?
Well, here's what I honestly think. If you want to know my opinion,
Yes, I genuinely do.
Okay, science at some point, let's say it was 1600, whenever, they saw boats, what they thought were going over the curvature. Because in order to see that they're not, you need to zoom in with the equipment we have today, P90X cameras. You need to, super zoom cameras. Back in Galileo's day, they didn't have the optics to see what actually was happening with the boats. So I would have done the same thing. You see boats look like they go over the edge. Your only summation from that is the Earth's a ball. Now, then they made a big deal about it, and I even thank science for this. They made sure that the church didn't continue to hold over and hold down people. So they took off with science. The church went their separate way. They even agreed with science on some of these things, right? And then at some point when science realized that they had made a mistake, there is no way out for science. They can't come out and say, oops.
Actually, that's not the way science works.
I know that you think that. Let me explain what I'm saying, and then
No, I know that I know that. That's
great.
the way.
Fantastic. You think that
it's
science
not just my
would come out and
prerogative.
you think science would come out and say in 1900, oops, we were wrong. The Earth is flat. The church was right. You know what would happen to every single scientist?
You think science is just a giant body or entity or a school of belief or dogma, and it's not. It's full of a bunch of people who are curious. And if there is any idea, any proof, any kind of evidence of a flat Earth, people will want to study it.
I think, besides things like ships disappearing from the bottom up, or the fact that Earth's shadow, when it falls on the moon during a lunar eclipse, is a circle, rather than sometimes flat or anything, is just the fact that nothing as big as Earth could be flat. Once you're that large, the forces of gravity are strong enough that everything has to become a sphere at that size. More than a few, I don't know if it's a few kilometers or a few hundred kilometers in diameter, but at that scale, there's no material that has molecule structures strong enough to not be broken by gravity and collapse into a spherical shape.
And there you go. Pretty much that explains everything. They have no clue what the flat Earth model really is. They stick to, or they cling to, this idea of gravity because they choose not to look into what the actual flat Earth model is. And that is the issue that I'm coming across. People just seem to cling to their model. They have no clue on what the actual flat Earth model is. So they're constantly having to adopt the spherical Earth with the flat Earth. And that's why until we start educating more people about what the true flat Earth model is, this is the kind of crap that we have to deal with. So I'm not going to carry on too much longer. This video was just to present how wrong the mainstream, or what you have to deal with when you're explaining to people what flat Earth really means. I'm going to do further videos on this because I think it's definitely something that we need to educate the masses. I mean, we definitely are in a situation where our model is being completely destroyed, completely misunderstood, and until we really educate the masses, this is the stuff that we're gonna have to deal with. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Also, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are and maybe what you've come across in the past. So, until next time, see you around.